Hello guys. Bonjour. Anyway,
What is your name, babe?
uh,
Comment tu
uh,
t'appelles?
comment t'appelles? My name is Victor.
Say
So,
it in French.
uh, je m'appelle Victor.
Hey!
Anyway,
So we're in the city of love.
yeah, people say Paris is the city of love.
Two loves bed in the
Yeah, and
city
we
of
thought
love.
there was nowhere to come and do our first year anniversary than to be in the city of Paris. So here is this woman's dream.
Yeah, it has always been my dream to come to Paris.
It's good. It's a dream come true.
I'm excited that the dream came true.
Yeah.
1 year after of our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, so we've been having a lot of people asking, how did you guys actually meet?
Yeah.
Different versions, because of course, sometimes the day a guy met a lady or a lady met a guy, maybe you might not even, realize
When
it,
did you meet me?
know.
Let's even solve the problem.
My own story was quite a bit different. I think I've got to hear about her maybe a year or so more than back before I actually got to her. So before I said hi, I already had made some of my findings and research before coming. So literally, the day I heard about her, I traveled from Lagos to Ibadan. I came in to take some children on a tour to, not children, teenagers, youths, to Idore Hill. So then I started something called social tourism. So where my idea was that when you go for a tour, it shouldn't just be about fun, but it's also about impacting the environment,
Okay.
all right, that you go on a tour in. So and this dear friend of mine, decided to invite me. That is Esther. She decided to invite me.
Thank you, Esther.
And Esther used to be her roommate, so
Yeah.
they used to be roommates. So I came in to Ibadan that night. So we slept at Esther's friend's place. That is Taiwo.
Okay.
Oh, so that's where we slept. So the time
But you were at the house?
I was at the house.
But I was not around.
She wasn't around.
I was in my PhD then, so was it my PhD or my master?
Yeah, no, your PhD.
Yeah, I was in my PhD then, so I was just like school and all, and then maybe photography. I was just not I was supposed to go with the trip, with Esther on the trip, but then I had an examination the next week, so I had to tell Esther, Esther, I'm sorry. I was supposed to be photographing the trip, but I was like, Esther, I'm sorry, I can't go because I need to prepare for this exam. And she was like, that's fine. But of course, the time that they were supposed to come around, I had to go to school to study. And then when they came back, I was like, how was the trip? It was nice and all of that. I saw the pictures, but I did not even take notice of anything. I was like, these pictures are great, don't you? And that was just it for me, yeah. But that was when the first seed was planted.
Yeah, so literally I got to hear that she has a roommate. So and conversation that who is she, what's she doing, like that. I go, she's doing her PhD, she's doing this, that. So I literally got to learn a little bit about her that day. She's a photographer. I say, wow, great, and stuff like that. And I wanted to meet the person, who this particular person is. And I picked up the conversation with her. You might not even remember. I was trying to inquire. So I got some information. So I was very interested, and I was like, it shows that this lady is very very ambitious. I would like to get to know her and stuff like that. So somehow after the trip we went to Ibadan, I didn't really follow up, but I later tried to follow up again to want to know little about her and get some information. So I was building interest, building that momentum that time. I just left the whole thing, closed the whole case after a while. But I got to know who she is, so I used to once in a while just go to her timeline just to know, okay, see what she's doing. I used to see what she posts. I was seeing what she used to post. I used to read some of her posts. I was like, this lady has some relationship with God too, because her text in terms of scripture, the way she says certain things, I feel that okay, she knows what she's saying. Of course, I was not a Deeper Life guy, so I noticed she was from Deeper Life. So it should tell you that I've done a whole lot of my own and this and that. She's from Deeper Life. So I said, okay. So looking at that, I felt that I don't have issues with the church, but of course, I come from a church where some belief could be different from their own belief. So I was like, okay, do I want? So the thing is just that from the first time I got to hear about her and I checked her up online, I felt a level of connection.
Felt connection just by checking
I
out
felt
someone online.
no,
Okay.
no, because
I'm
not
taking
not by
notes
checking
now.
someone online, but by getting certain information,
Okay.
understanding the kind of person that you are. Because I'm somebody that's I want to see my wife doing well, and I'm saying, yeah, that's my wife there. I'm not looking for a full-time housewife, so I'm looking for somebody we can build an empire together. We can do certain things together. Share with you. when I
This guy is diplomatic.
when I checked her out, her height discouraged me, guys. I was looking for a tall girl, so listen, her height discouraged
How
me.
did you know my height is that picture?
Come on now, I can see the picture. What I say, it was part of the reasons why I didn't jump on time, because I was like, I was like, no. I liked other things about her. Like I said, I saw that she was godly. I could see that she was industrious. I mean, I saw that she was young. She looked young and she was doing PhD. Me, I've not even started my master's then. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was like, wow. In terms of what I was looking for physically, it wasn't showing at that time.
The funny thing was that when we met, I was on a low cut.
So before she goes there, so the thing is that so that I will not physically, of course, we'll tell you when we do physically, but I was just trying to say that I slide. So one day, that was like after a year or so,
I think
maybe nearly, not up to 2 years, maybe a year plus or so, because I noticed that, of course, I wasn't in a relationship then somehow I moved to Ibadan. Even when I moved to Ibadan, I didn't, one day the thought came, but I was like, oh, I beg. I just pushed it aside, Then I saw her in Lawrence Oyor's wedding. I was supposed to go for that wedding, but I had an exam in Lagos. I already started my MBA program that time. I just saw that and I said, oh wow, that this is this lady again shooting at this wedding.
I think I saw Fisayo that
Fisayo came, So Fisayo came. So Fisayo knew how. So I had a conversation with Fisayo too before I actually went to go and ask her out and stuff. So I was like, oh wow. So that day I just felt that guy, this lady that you admire for some time, and then you never, because of just this issue, I kind of reached out that day, like, hey, how are you and stuff, and my name is this, like that. Just gave my manifesto. So if you are a guy, if you are a guy, you're trying to approach so that they won't just see you as some of those other ones.
I love that. I'm currently in Lagos writing an exam for my MBA. Blah, blah,
so I couldn't. So I just had to pitch, so that she won't see me as one non-entity, because I knew that she was not one of those girls that was going to be like jump on me because she's trying to look for small peanuts around. So of course, if you are looking for a lady that is well to do in what she's doing, the way you comport yourself matters, like how you talk to her, how you package. You need to sell yourself, of course. She cannot just get to where she got to by joking or by being, by not being professional or disciplined or being excellent in what she's doing or building herself. So you don't expect that she will just be a nobody. So I had to package myself well and present myself well to her. Somehow we got talking. She gave me, maybe, with the way I spoke about myself, she gave me audience.
Let me interject now. So when I saw his message, then he used to work at IITA, and he was like, oh, I work at IITA, blah, 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 I would like to be your friend. So I'm like, okay, this guy that works at IITA, and it was at that point in my life that I wanted to like diversify into agriculture. As an entrepreneur, you can't make money from one single source of income. So the idea will be, oh, you've made money from air, can you invest that money into something else? So I was thinking of buying acres of land in the village, then like producing agricultural cassava, just growing stuff and then selling it en masse. So that was like where I was at that time. I was at the edge of, like, I was already even looking for land then. So I was like, this guy is from IITA, it would be nice to be his friend. And that was just what my own pure mind was like, it would be nice to be his friend, because of course if you have contacts of someone that stays in IT, that works in IT, it just makes your agricultural pursuit very easy. So the first time so in no time I just, oh hi, how are you, how's been your exams and all, and immediately we just kicked it off.
Yeah.
On
I think we just connected somehow. So we started talking.
And the first time we spoke on phone, we were talking basically about agriculture, because that was what I was my interest. So I was feeling like, oh, I would like to be his friend because I have interest in agriculture. So when I spoke to him, I was talking about, okay, so what is applicable? If you grow cassava for like these acres, how much can you gain? And he was just giving me, and the beauty of it is that he had done it before. You told me you've done cassava, that you had even gone on to process it into garri and then sold it. I'm like, oh, that is great. So how did you do it? How long does it take for cassava to grow? When do you have to grow it? And that was what just kick-started our friendship, that we started talking on phone. Yeah.
Because even the fact that I've been admiring her for like nearly 2 years, a year plus, before finding audience with her and we started talking, it was not just shocking me that I just jumped into it. No, I took my time in a way. I started relating with her. I was trying to like understand her person, just talk to her. There are several things I didn't know about her. I didn't even know that she has a physical studio in Ibadan. I didn't know that
I was not even in Ibadan.
She was not in Ibadan physically. I didn't even know that she also had one job with federal government that while still running her business. Do you understand? So several things I didn't know about her. So I got to relate with her. I got to find out. We begin to discuss. We started praying together. That's tell you how we became close. Like at the time we started.
At that time, were you already talking about relationship then?
No, I think we started talking more towards prayer, a little bit about Bible.
Yeah.
But eventually, we now decided to meet. All right.
Yeah.
So we decided to meet. So
and the funny thing, let me give you a gist about when we met. When we decided to meet, I was not living in Ibadan then, but it was not public knowledge. I never posted it online. So there were so many things about me that was not online that he got to know while talking to me. So I needed to go to Ibadan for a shoot. So, and he was like, oh, let's meet. And I'm like, I don't want to meet you. But I was like, we can go to Domino's and then just hang out, have pizza. And I'm like, okay, there's pizza, I'm coming.
Yeah, so she came around and then we had a good time. We discussed because we've been conversing for the past 1 month. We've been building friendship, trying to know each other, understand our dreams, understand how things are going with each other and stuff like that. Started talking scripture, prayed together and stuff. Like we became close, literally.
Yeah.
And so that day, I just decided that I was going to tell her my intention. So when we hung out that day, guys, I did not bother to say, oh, it's our first. No, we've been building that friendship. So I felt that it's okay. I understand a little bit. The height I was having issues with, I noticed that I kind of have overcome it. I'm like, no, nice this shouldn't be something that will stop you from getting this amazing woman. I was like, do people with higher height, do they used to have better married than people with this thing? I just felt that. No, I'm not yabbing you. I'm just saying that I just told myself, because as a guy you have things in your mind that you say, oh, this is the kind of person I want. Do you get?
Yeah.
But it was only that was missing.
But your tallness, your height is okay for both of us.
Yeah,
I think we'll have children that have good height.
No, literally, I just told her, I said, see, this is the situation. I've studied you for a while. I've heard about you last about 2 years. And then I heard you are in a relationship.
Are you in a relationship?
Even though...
No, did you ask me if I was in a relationship?
No, when we are talking, I already used to ask you now, Haba, I cannot be that dull now and wait till that day. I already used to ask you, and of course, where we are conversing, I already knew that she was not. So that day, I just shoot my shot. I just told her, this is it.
Sure.
And see, this is the situation on ground. I've been studying you. I'm interested, I've prayed. I've spoken to a few people.
Wow.
I've spoken to Esther then. I've spoken to Visayo. I think I've spoken to Justin, like a few people that listen, there's this babe and stuff. me, myself and Justin have prayed about it, and he told me, guy, just move, just go ahead, you know. As I think I told my pastor too about it, explained the scenario, and he said, okay, there's no two way about it. Ask her out. Then eventually that day, okay, I didn't get a good answer anyway. She was like, you know, like different things. But like, oh, we are not friends enough.
I see. The truth is that even when we started talking, I'd even already written it in. Okay, so I already wrote it down. Victor Saleh is your friend. Please don't mess this up with a relation. You know, as a girl too now, if a guy is interested in you, somehow you will know. Do you get? So even though he was saying his platonic friendship he was doing, then I already know that this guy is looking like a guy that is interested.
Of course, I'll see. I was intentional, and that is it. My kind of friendship, when I was coming, she too will know that this guy was coming for something, because I was in and out trying to understand her.
You will call me at some point.
We call it
I'm like, oh,
stop calling me.
Am I your liver?
She was like, stop calling me.
And you call me, I don't think it's okay. You can always drop a message. I'll meet your message, because he will not be feeling bad. I not pick his call and I not call him back. Why would I?
Guys, at that time, that was when I knew I was in love. I was already getting worried. Like, there was a night that she was traveling somewhere, you know, based on her business stuff and so she was traveling somewhere until about 11:12. I was calling her. I sent her a message. I was like, please just respond if you. Oh God, that's when I knew that this guy is in love. Till 1 a.m. and I was going to I was going to work the following day. 1 a.m. I was still awake. Only to see her message, she was like, oh, she's fine. Oh God, I felt so bad.
I was fine. Why are you calling me? You were just calling me. Where are you now? Have you dropped? Have you entered this thing? Uncle, I will find my way around, and when I get to my destination, I will call you. So I know I was worried and everything. So the next day, I was not wanting to be getting angry that I not call him. I'm like, from where to where? Why are you getting angry? So I had to like put him straight that please, you don't have to always call me. A text message is okay, and I'll be fine and all. Yeah, so that was what I told him then. And then I think it was still that trip when I was coming back. That I was coming back from a long journey, so it was a long drive, and I got home very late, maybe 9 o'clock. And he was like, okay, so what is your address? I'm like, no, I can't give you my address. So I was like, by the way, it's food I want to send. I'm like, I did not say that before.
Because I was like, this girl is coming from a long trip from Abuja, then Kogi. She must have been very tired.
It was Kogi, it was a very long trip. So what happened? He said my favorite food, right? I like jollof rice, but of course you eat jollof rice every time. So it's not like something that you crave like that. But he sent rice and beans with peppered stew, chicken, then Hollandia yogurt, which was all the things I liked. So as I got the package, I was so happy, like, oh my God, this is rice and beans and and Hollandia yogurt. So I'm like, this is so nice. I was eating it. My heart just started like softening.
Oh Jesus.
So my heart started my heart started to soften towards him. So you know when you like calm down, okay, who is this guy? You know, you want to like, you're interested in getting to really know him. So I think that was just that thing, that just act of kindness kind of unlocked. I was also at the stage in my life where I said I was not going to go into a relationship. So it wasn't even about him. I like him, you're a great guy and all, but I want to like, I have done so many things in life that were right and great, but my relationship was not really what I wanted it to be. Do you get? So I felt like I had not gotten that aspect of my life right. And you know, when God wants you to, I feel like God was, I feel like, okay, I was at a stage where you know, when you don't pass a class, you have to keep repeating it till you learn that lesson. So I feel like the lesson God wanted me to learn at that stage in my life is wait and trust me. You know, you've been doing this thing by yourself, your judgment, your all of this. Like, can you just take a break? And I was always like jumping from one relationship to another. Like, I'll barely leave a relationship and then I'll just jump into another and then jump into another. And it's not healthy, you know. That was some of the mistakes I made as a young girl, that if I could go back, I would possibly advise myself that okay, you need to stay grounded first, know what you want out of life before jumping into relationships. Yeah. So it was like I kept failing that test, and so I needed to keep repeating the class. So I was at that stage, I was like, okay, God, I'm leaving this thing to you. I can't do it by myself. So me and Debbie, we had said that okay, fine, just hands off relationship now. And that was what I was doing. So I was just trying to build friendship. So when the food came in, it just made me like take a step back and like, okay, who is this guy? Can I get to know him? And can we? So it just unlocked something in me,
Yeah.
and I felt it was just God teaching him how to love me. I don't know how to explain it, but that was what happened to me. Yeah.
So so that's it. I think another thing that got to also solidify meeting more, like meetings are in physics. You meet somebody, but it doesn't mean that some meetings brings you more closer. Was also after that I noticed that of course she likes tourism, she likes to tour, so we kind of brought up the idea and say, oh, the last time we met physically, we met in a restaurant, but why don't we try something else? I was looking for something that could make us bond. So I mean, the only place we could think about at that time, something we brought up was there's this lake, so I told her, I said, it's not like the kind of boat cruise we have in Lagos, but of course they kind of have their speedboat. We could go there, just tour the water. So we went there together. I think that really helped us to bond.
And helped us visualize the future that we could have together.
We both knew that we love adventure as a mutual interest, so we did that, and
adventure that brought us
to Paris together, and we've done so many also together.
And then we went on to organize a tour.
We have not started dating then.
We had not even started dating then. We did a Travolic tour of the tower.
In Ibadan, we went
forgot the name of the tower.
Boas Tower, something like that.
Something like that.
We went to that Lekele.
It was so amazing. It was the one that did most of the running around, and then was the one doing the commentary and all. It was a very successful event, which we had hoped that we were going to like do more.
If we were to be in Nigeria, but which of course maybe we could still plan it.
So on the spiritual side, so we've been talking about physical. On the spiritual side, like my husband mentioned, before he even came, he had discussed with his pastor, he had discussed with his friends. They've prayed about it, and he felt like, okay, this is it, this is who God wants me to be. I've been in several relationships, and I was at that point where I was like, okay, no, I'm done with relationship. I needed to take a break, so I was taking that break, and I was supposed to like do it till the end of the year, intentional, and this guy came around. So at that point my heart was already falling for him, so I had to call my mentor Brosho. I'm like, Brosho, I first of all called Mary to tell her about you. I'm like, this guy, I have this guy that is a nice guy, he's blah 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 blah, but I feel like he talks too much. He's always talking on phone. My man will call me on his phone and we will talk for hours. Guy, I have something to do. Why are you calling him?
Anyway, guys, for people that knows me very well, they know that I don't really like talking. But of course, I didn't want to sound like a boring guy, and I wanted to get her attention. So in a way, I had to come out of my shell just to ensure that I get to talk to her and stuff. So I mean, so I think sometimes too, in the place of doing that, maybe you try to balance that. But of course, I think later on I started balancing that.
I feel like I'm not talkative.
So,
but then I felt like I was talking too much. So my friend was like, well, you have to look into it because it's a red flag. I said, yes, it's a red flag. We have to look into it. But then my heart was already falling. So I called Brosho. I said, Brosho, it has happened though. And there's this brother. Then we were already even praying together and all of that. We'll fast. Me, I don't know how to fast. So by 12 o'clock, I'm broke my fast. So
let me just say, you have to be patient with people. I've heard people say, oh, I love self-development. I love this spiritual, this thing. I love Joshua Selman. She's not the Joshua Selman type. Sometimes you might not just be the same people. So you need to build interest. Apart from that, look for the core things that is important to you.
And
Alright?
I feel like you have to look beyond the physical. There are sometimes gold inside male, I don't know, MIRE, that you have to like refine by yourself and build the person to what you want the person to be. The truth is that before I met him, I was not like this. I would like to think I've grown just by his influence over the time we've been together. When I met him, I was on low cut. I don't even pay attention to beauty at all, like at all. I don't. I just get out of the house and just that kind of thing.
It was only
It was
those that
terrible.
reviewed inner beauty to me, guys. Because you can agree with me that I've supported in working on this beautiful wife that I have seen there. So guys, look beyond. There's any person
Everybody
can,
is beautiful.
can
Actually,
it's just perspective, and if they
just
if
one
they
trip
want
to the salon
yeah.
or one trip to the boutique to be the dream girl that you see in the magazines.
In the picture.
Yeah, so that was what happened then. So Brushing was like, well, I need to still like take my time, pray about it, and maybe by next year we'll see how it goes. I say, okay, sir. Mutikbosa, I've heard you. I've heard. December like this, I say, uncle, I love you too. I never tell my friends. I not tell. Okay, did I tell? I think I told Mary that I was going to say yes to him, but I not tell Debbie because both of us we have promised ourselves that we are staying up relationships. You get? So I'm in love with him. So I'm like, I've prayed about it.
So we met October. So we started dating in December.
In December. So I just
end of December.
Yeah.
Towards 20 something.
25
so maybe
or
like
something. I think
3
around
months,
Christmas.
3 months of getting
So
to know each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I not tell Brushing that I've told him yes. I did not tell David I've told him yes. So in January I'm like, Brushing, by the way, we've started a relationship. I know that it would have been like, I'm tired of you, this girl, because not listening. But it was really very encouraging. It was like, oh, that's great. You guys should come and see me in my office, and then we get to talk and all. And
yeah, we went to Lagos.
We went to Lagos
to
see him, and it was a very nice conversation. Both of you really had things to talk about. At some point, I felt like, okay, you guys should just do your thing because I can't relate. They were talking about preachers, messages, and all. He has been preaching for a while, so it was just a very nice conversation and a nice time out. And then in January, we started to actively plan for our wedding. He taught me selfless love. I don't know how to explain it, but being in a relationship with you have opened me to experiencing the God kind of love, agape. When you do things even when you don't expect something in return.
Yeah, so I just want to chip in that. So one way you can know also is that when someone is passionate about you, if you are just one of the options, you will know.
Yeah.
Because if you are just one of the options in his life, come on, there are certain things the person can't go extra mile to do. And if he's not that passionate about you, also there are certain things, But I was passionate. I knew what I want. We have met a couple of times. We have done activities together, and getting to know each other, meet each other. I was very convinced that this was what I wanted.
You never made me doubt your love for me.
I was
for
very
once,
convinced,
like there are some relationships that you'll be in and be like, am I the one? Am I not the one? And then you're just second guessing yourself. But that has never been the case since the first time I met you till now. So it's been an
amazing one. And maybe before we leave, there was this thing my baby, she will always say, oh, we need to be friends for I that was something I need to really counter with her, which I need to mention. Maybe we'll do a video on that.
I wanted to marry my friend. So
like,
in my head, I'm going to marry someone I've been friends with for like 7 years and counting. So that has been always my dream. So when he came and he was like, oh, I would like to marry you, I'm like, oh yeah, well that's good, but we need to be friends first. And I was like, no, I don't want to be your friend, those kind of things.
And we'll be friends for like about 2 to 3 months.
Which kind of 2 to 3 months?
Yes, now
it's not supposed to be like 7 years friendship.
So and you know what? I was trying to tell her. I said one of the things I've learned is that You could be friends for someone for 10 years, and the person will not know you as much as somebody that has been friends with you for 3 months or 4 months. It's just about being intentional. Friendship is a commitment of time. And when me I met her, I was conscious. I was committing that time. She was all around my face. So I mean, I was telling her that there's no how some of your friends won't even know half of what I know.
Yeah, so at some point, the truth was that I began to reciprocate his match. I won't say I matched his energy, but it became better from there, and it's been 1 year.
Yeah, amazing 1 year. So thanks to all those that contributed one way or the other in bringing our paths together. Esther, my friend from service. If not, she didn't even know that I have interest in her until I told her that, oh, I have interest in that girl that's your roommate. Taiwo, asking question about the girl when we are going, so
that was how we met. And we are touring Paris too. So drop in the comment section what should we get for you from Paris, and thank you for watching.
Bye guys.